Hi, I'm Kyle Tucker, co-owner of Detroit Speed and Engineering with my wife Stacy. Glad you stopped by our shop here in Mooresville, North Carolina. We've actually started the business back in 2000 in a two-car garage on the outskirts of Detroit, and it started very, very small, like I said, in a two-car garage where we built a few custom cars, worked on a very, very small product line. About 10 years ago we moved to the Charlotte area here in Mooresville, and it's been a great move for us. Better weather for one thing, but we also have a much bigger facility. We have about 30,000 square feet to house our custom project shop and also our manufacturing area, which we'll show you. And we have about 10 acres here in our industrial park, so we're able to keep expanding. One thing we want to be able to show you while you stop by for the visit is our project shop, where we custom build cars really for people all over the world. And we're going to introduce you to two of our fabricators there. They're doing some sheet metal TIG work on a 1941 Willis. That's a really neat project, and also a 69 Charger that's equally as cool. From there, we're going to go over to our manufacturing facility where you'll see some of our production work, MIG welding some of our subframes together, and also some of our TIG work that we do in production.
I'm Mark McDonald with Detroit Speed and Engineering. Today we're using the Dynasty 280 TIG welder. We're welding on the 69 Dodge Charger project. I'm welding the quarter extension mounting flange, this 1/8 inch to 18 gauge. So our settings are going to be a little different because we got two different metal thicknesses. All right, we're going to go ahead and run through a few settings on the Dynasty 280. We're welding on DC, and I'm going to run it about 60 amps. Most of the time, if I'm welding 18 gauge to 18 gauge, I'll match the amperage to the thickness of the metal, which would be like 47. I'm going to run it at 60, and I'm going to fine tune my setting with the foot pedal as I'm welding. Using a gas lens with a number 7 cup and 3/32 serrated tungsten. I like using the gas lens because it gives me better argon coverage, and if I get in a tight spot, I can run my tungsten out a little further and still have good gas coverage. All right, I've already tacked this piece in, but what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and finish welding it, and then we're going to metal finish it and show you what we end up with. The quarter panel extension mounting flange is 1/8 inch steel, and the sheet metal that we're welding to is 18 gauge. I'm going to be using 045 70S2 base filler rod for welding these two pieces together. Here at Detroit Speed and Engineering, we like to TIG weld our body panels on. The simple reason is you can control your heat, there's less warpage, and also less cleanup afterwards, and you're not putting heat in the panel again when you're grinding it. And one of the benefits of TIG welding, the weld is softer and you can metal finish it. If you MIG weld this in, the weld is much harder and you can't metal finish it. So you're likely to rip the metal where you're hammering it. Now that we finished TIG welding this part on, it took me about 5 minutes to finish this small area. After running through just a few different grits of Rolox, you can see very minimal warpage going on here. So our end product looks pretty good.
I'm Aaron Ellenbaum, fabricator at Detroit Speed. This is another example of TIG welding body panels using the Dynasty 200DX, and we're going to be using silicon bronze filler. Even though we're using silicon bronze, the machine is set up the same as we would for steel. We're on DC, the amperage is about 50, but I'll use the pedal to feather that down a little bit. We like using silicon bronze on seams like this. A normal body shop would just seam seal it, paint it, and be done. The silicon bronze is really durable, so that's why we like it. You're not going to have issues with paint cracking later on. You can weld it fairly low heat. It's very shapeable, so you can grind it, finish it. It still looks like a seam sealed seam, but your paint's not going to crack later on. You can see I jumped around a lot. I welded small sections at a time and kept it cool with a blowgun to reduce warpage and distortion. This is the area I've welded with silicon bronze, metal finished. I'll continue around the rest of the hood, metal finish it, and send it on to paint body.
For more racing, customizing, and restoring tips, go to millerwelds.com.